Societal collapse is not a cinematic event. It is a slow, grinding breakdown of logistics, trust, and authority. When the infrastructure fails, the vacuum is filled by three specific entities. They will look like help. They will sound like authority. They will be wearing uniforms. If you open your door, your survival probability drops to near zero. You must identify them before they reach your threshold. The first false savior is the Fragmented Authority. In the initial 72 hours of a localized or national blackout, command structures dissolve. Local police and National Guard units become isolated. Without communication from central command, these units often resort to resource acquisition to maintain their own operational capacity. They are hungry, they are tired, and they have the tactical advantage of a badge and a rifle. If a uniformed officer knocks on your door during a total grid down scenario and asks to audit your supplies for community distribution, they are no longer an officer. They are a looter with a state-issued warrant. Real government relief arrives in massive, slow-moving convoys with established distribution points, not individual squads going door to door in residential neighborhoods. An isolated squad asking for entry is a squad that has abandoned its post. Opening the door grants them access to your inventory. Once they know what you have, you are a target. Deny entry, maintain a barrier. State that you have no surplus. If they are legitimate, they will move to the next house. If they are desperate, they will attempt a breach. A locked door is a filter. It separates the desperate from the predatory. The second false savior is the private security contractor. In a high-stakes collapse, the wealthy and the corporate elite employ private paramilitaries to secure assets. These contractors often wear tactical gear indistinguishable from special forces. They operate under a different set of rules than the military. Their objective is not to protect the civilian population. It is to secure a perimeter or recover specific resources. A security patrol might offer you protection in exchange for fuel, medicine, or labor. This is a predatory contract. Private contractors lack the logistical tail to sustain a civilian population. They will take your resources, use you for manual tasks, and abandon the site as soon as their primary objective is met or the area becomes too high risk. To you, they represent a temporary shield. To them, you are a localized resource to be exploited and discarded. Never trade your long-term survival assets for a promise of short-term security from a non-state actor. If they are in your neighborhood, they are there for a reason that doesn't involve your well-being. Keep your windows darkened. Do not signal. Do not negotiate. The third and most dangerous false savior is the Civil Defense Militia. These are organized groups of civilians who have donned surplus camouflage and declared themselves the new local law. They often use high visibility vests or armbands to mimic official status. They claim to be protecting the neighborhood from outsiders. But history shows that these groups quickly devolve into internal predation. A militia will knock on your door under the guise of a census or a security check. Their real goal is intelligence gathering. They want to know who is armed, who has food, and who is alone. By opening the door, you provide them with a visual map of your defenses and your stock. Unlike the military, these groups have no accountability. They are your neighbors turned into warlords by the absence of consequences. They will offer you a place in their secure zone or a share of their confiscated goods. Joining them makes you a target for rival groups and marks you as a looter, winner if actual order is restored. True survival is found in invisibility, not in joining a paramilitary gang. The psychology of the uniform is a powerful weapon. From childhood, we are conditioned to obey the badge, the camo, and the authoritative tone. In a collapse, this conditioning is a liability. Your home is your last line of defense. The moment you break the seal of your doorway, you lose the tactical advantage of cover and concealment. When someone in a uniform approaches, analyze the context. Is there a functioning government? Is there a broadcast on the emergency frequencies? Is the authority moving in a coordinated large-scale operation, or are they a small isolated group? If the answer is the latter, they are not there to save you. They are there to sustain themselves at your expense. Establish a no-contact protocol. If someone knocks, do not answer through the door. Use a secondary window or an intercom if available. Do not show your face. Do not show your weapon unless they are actively breaching. Inform them that the household is under quarantine, or that all supplies have already been surrendered to a previous patrol. Give them a reason to move on to an easier target. Survival is a game of probability. Every interaction with an unknown party in a high-stress environment carries a risk of violence or resource loss. By refusing to open the door to false saviors, you mitigate that risk. You're not being unpatriotic or unhelpful. You are being a realist. In a world where the thin veneer of civilization has stripped away, the man in the uniform is just another man with a stomach that needs filling. The rule is absolute. No one enters. No exceptions. Not the officer, not the contractor, not the neighbor with the armband. Your door stays shut until the smoke clears and the legitimate structures of society are demonstrably restored. Anything less is a gamble with your life. Maintain your perimeter. Protect your stores. Trust no one who arrives with a hand out and a hand on a holster. Information is your best defense, but silence is your best shield. The saviors are coming. Be ready to ignore them.